Pizza guy.
You're not pizza. Who are you guys?
Road trips.
Welcome back, Road Trips fans. Our third season premiere, episode 030, takes us to the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium in Tacoma, Washington. The vehicle for this episode, 1984 Buick Regal Limited. And cast for this edition, myself, Todd Hilton, Mr. Mark Johnson, and we welcome our newest cast member, Mr. Jason Click. The maps are out and the camera's rolling, so now, let's hit the road.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of Nowhere Videos Road Trips. I'm Todd Hilton.
I'm Mark Johnson.
And joining the cast of Road Trips for the first time here is Mr. Jason Click.
Hi.
Yay! Jason joins me from my paying job at Shucks Auto Supply.
He really does have one of those.
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this is not our paying job. This is the fun job.
Yeah, right.
But the pay is lousy.
Yes.
This is actually our season premiere for our third season. And today we're going to be taking a trip up to the Tacoma area, more specifically in this part of it, Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. Heard it's a very cool place to look at. They got a lot of cool animals, and we're going to be able to take you behind the scenes on some of the exhibits, and should be a pretty good time. I hear they're having some construction up there, adding some new exhibits and other facilities on the campus, which actually is pretty extensive. The zoo lies within Point Defiance Park, which I guess is it's like 700 acres, so it's huge.
So we'll be getting our exercise today.
Yeah, we'll be getting our exercise. We're gonna be pretty worn out by the end of the
Not that
show
any of
here.
us needs it, you know.
Oh no, we don't need exercise.
No.
You know,
We're buff. We're
Yeah.
stuff, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I can poke fun at myself.
Literally.
Literally.
So we're
Anyway.
really. So yeah, we're gonna get our exercise today. We're gonna. So that wraps it up for this episode. Hopefully it won't be that bad, but
Yeah.
we'll.
We won't be coughing and wheezing, we hope.
Yeah. We've made arrangements with with one of the ladies that's in charge up there at the zoo, and great lady to talk to. Her name's
Kim.
Yeah. No, Carolyn
Shirley.
Cox up there. I've been in contact with her over the last week, and she's going to let us in and basically do our thing. So it's should be a good show. Got a lot of ground to cover, and we're actually starting our trip here in Centralia, here in Washington State, and are we about an hour away?
40 miles, 40 minutes.
Oh,
Well, the way he drives,
A mile
we'll be
a
there in
minute?
20. We'll be there in 20.
we'll be there. We'll be there in 20 hours and 40 minutes.
Right.
So,
That's right. Then I'll have to work tomorrow, so.
Few
Yeah.
cars, few cars.
yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, whatever.
It all comes out in the wash. So, we're gonna get going. Got our long trip ahead of us. Hopefully we don't get lost. That could be a bad thing when you don't know where you're going.
Which is pretty much every trip with
Pretty
Todd.
much everywhere we go, we get lost. So this should be interesting. So right about now, we're gonna get started.
Okay.
Let's
Okie
do
dokie.
it. Okay, folks, we are underway here. We're currently heading north on I-5 here in Washington State. We are actually, let's go to the map and we'll show you where we're at here. Just leaving Centralia. We are 51 miles away from Tacoma. Tacoma. You're in the wrong state. Get yourself a new map.
I'm picking up your sarcasm.
That's good, because I'm laying it on pretty thick.
Why, yes, yes, you are.
What'd you do?
How much I owe you for gas?
You didn't get any.
Pump any.
You didn't pump
What?
any.
How come you didn't pump any gas?
They were all
All
out.
out. All they had is diesel. Gotta go to the next station. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
What's
To
that?
have a plate like that, you better be a little bit good looking.
What's that?
Oh, the license plate frame and
Right. What?
like a grandma or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch a good look. It's probably better that way.
Probably better you didn't.
Hey, you're probably one of the lucky ones then.
Yeah. Okay, now Jason, do you have any idea how to get to where we're going?
Neosporin.
Okay.
What was his answer? Did I hear Neosporin?
Did I get a Neosporin in there? Yeah.
Neosporin.
What are you doing? Feels like you're running an incredible race. Okay, just going over our map on how to get to this place. We go up around the Tacoma area, and we're wanting to take Highway 16. It's going to take us off in this direction here.
Not so much here.
Not so much here or here, but right through there.
Right through there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
AM radio.
I thought that was a new speed limit. Go 530 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Open this baby up.
This
See what
orange
we can
sign
do.
says 5:30. It's like 5:30. Yeah, it's
Heck,
like
it's almost 10 o'clock.
yeah, not by my watch. I mean, Pacific Coast Scenic Highway. Is this 1014 Pacific Coast Highway? No! This is 1013 Pacific Coast Highway. 1014's a mile down that way. Oh, sorry, my fault. No problem.
Okay, I know that one.
I'm not positive of the numbers, but that was the general. They had a fish towing a fish.
That's cool. It's like the ultimate evolution of fish with wheels.
Yeah, yeah. No, now with wheels. Rest area 2 miles.
Oh,
We're there. Oh. Anybody who can't hold it is gonna have to hold it.
Right.
Right. See, I
It's just not going to work.
kind of got a problem with that, you know. Now, yes, folks, it is true. Except for the first season, the second, and this third season, shows are being taped out of sequence. We have actually taped some other shows, several other shows prior to this one today, but gonna have to wait to see what those are.
That's right.
We're not gonna give away our secrets here.
Would anybody like to hear about where we're going?
Yes.
I can read a little bit.
Mark's going to be our navigator here in the back seat. We're going to need Crisco and a shoehorn to get him out when we get there.
I can read.
And the worst part about it, I never learned to read. Is that true? Well, everything except the reading part. Anyway.
I are a graduate of St. Helens High School.
That's right.
I are a graduate.
Graduated.
Gave me a diploma.
Diploma, graduated, educated,
I've been educated.
educated. Okay, what do we got?
Yeah, the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. Don't really need to give the address, but I don't think.
Oh.
Features animals from the Pacific Rim area, including Asian elephants. Now wait a second here. Pacific Rim, Asian
elephants. Isn't that
Okay, anyway.
contradiction?
Yeah, beluga whales. Is that where you get beluga caviar? Beluga
Yes.
whales? Okay, anyway, just checking.
No. Yeah,
Wasn't he the blue
Yeah.
bear on Tailspin in the Jungle Book?
Yes. Drop the ooga.
Oh.
Beluga. Beluga, yeah, it was beluga.
Right, okay, I knew there was
Right.
some kind of connection there.
Anyway, a Pacific walrus, only one. They only have one, see? It says a Pacific walrus, so I'm assuming they only have one. Which is kind of lonely for the walrus, but anyway. Polar
Snuff
bears, that is plural. Sea otters. Why otter? Anyway, sharks and snow leopards. Habitats feature the Arctic tundra, Puget Sound's rocky shores, and the tropics of the South Pacific and Southeast Asia. The North Pacific Aquarium provides a glimpse of the marine life at Puget Sound. The Discovery Reef Aquarium displays tropical fish and sharks. This doesn't really apply, but this does say December evenings bring the zoo lights display with more than 500,000 lights arranged in life-size replicas of zoo animals.
Yeah, I've actually went on to the website for the zoo, which, in case folks want to visit, it's www.pdza, as in Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium.org. Actually, a pretty cool site. You can see all the exhibits they have. They give a little picture of the zoo lights thing. It actually looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Looks like a pretty impressive display. But anyway, continue.
Well, it just says you want to allow at least a minimum of 2 hours to see everything that you want to see. They are open daily from 10 to 7, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, 10 to 4 the rest of the year, and they're closed the third Friday in July. Why, I don't know.
The third Friday in July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also Thanksgiving and Christmas, December 25th.
That makes sense.
Yes.
It just makes sense.
Right. So that's where we're headed, and that's
how
some
it's
of
gonna
what
be.
we're going to see. So
Cool. Yeah, it should turn out to be a good show. We're going to see some things that the public doesn't generally get to see.
right.
And in addition to taking a tour as anyone else would, this is going to be my first time there. I don't know if you guys have been there
I've
before.
never been there. So
I don't believe that I have either.
Really?
Not to my knowledge. I may
So
have,
good.
but
So this will be a new experience for all of us. That's always cool when we can do that. So we give you folks the same first time look as we're experiencing for ourselves.
right.
look,
In case any of you folks are not familiar with our show, this is our little travel show that we've been doing here since about '96. Started airing in '97. We take you around to tourist attractions, museums, points of interest, historical sites, all kinds of things like that.
And we get lost along the way.
And we get lost along the way. We keep the mood real light. We just have fun with it. There's nothing scripted out or planned except for the trip itself.
Right.
And
And if you've never watched, so you're the one.
so yeah, and shame on you for not watching Road Trip. No, it's just it's a real fun show to do. We've got a lot of great response from people who've seen the show in the past, and it's great. Actually, in just the last month, I think I've ran into 3 people that don't even know who they were, and they'd recognize me from Road Trips.
Okay,
Jason's
because-
falling asleep here in the passenger seat.
But that's okay.
But that's
because-
okay.
I mean,
it's okay. I'm a limo driver.
It's all right.
You know, most accidents are caused by... Yes, can't be too careful out there. A lot of bad drivers. Continuing on on description of how we do our show here, we've actually progressed quite a bit since we first started the show. We've added a wide-angle lens to the inside the car shoot, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see me and Jason. You'd see like the center portion of the windshield, and that'd be about it.
Actually, we had to do that when Thornton came on board.
Yeah, in fact, that was the first show we used the wide-angle lens on. But it worked. It worked. But that was one of the very first upgrades that we did when we started. Since then, in the second season, we totally changed our setup between the first and second season for as far as putting the camera in the car. Let's say we went through a lot of duct tape. Duct tape sounds like a good idea, but it just doesn't hold up. You go around corners and stuff, and you get a really good shot of your upholstery that way when the camera tips over and you have the back of a seat or whatnot. But we changed that, and actually the way we have it set up now, we don't need duct tape or anything. It sits up all by itself.
Hey, there's a point of interest off to your right, the Miller Brewing Company.
We're there.
Yeah. They got about 4 cars on the way to the exit. It's Miller time,
It's
boys.
Miller. Yeah, no kidding.
That used to be the Olympia Brewing Company.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm Mark Johnson from WTHC Sports, and I could really use a beer right
This week in baseball.
now. That's another show.
Yep. Okay, let's go to the map. Show you where we're at now. We're
Lempai.
entering the Washington State capital of Olympia. Beer? Oh.
Yeah, I could really use a beer right now, guys. You
Yeah.
want to give me one?
This is where driving can start getting a little hairy. It's not too bad right now, but you start hitting rush hour, and I mean, you got like 4 lanes going in each direction here.
Which could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing.
Yeah, that could work for or against you.
Yeah.
And of course, the farther north you get, you start getting your carpool lanes. Now, folks, where we're from, are not used to these newfangled things like extra lanes for when you have more than one person. But since we have 3, we can actually use the carpool lane if needed.
Even though we're not actually going to work.
Even though we're not going to work. But that's okay. Okay.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Alrighty.
So we're in Olympia. I think we got another sign coming up here for Tacoma. I think we're, 20 miles away? 20, 30, somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that.
This is exits. Okay.
We're 1.4 miles away from Pacific Avenue.
Okay, that's not going to help. Anyway, continuing on. We're 28 miles from Tacoma. Miles away. Woohoo! Yay!
You've got mail.
You've got mail. I get mail. Yay! All right.
Right.
Another one of our upgrades that is actually new for the 3rd season here is we have microphones on all 3 of us. Separate microphones on every single one of them. Complete with a soundboard. So hopefully we're getting really good audio. Sweet. And yeah, you see our microphones. These are professional lapel microphones running into our soundboard in the back seat there.
Yes.
Did I mention Crisco and a shoehorn?
Yes,
That's what we're going to need to get Mark out of the back seat. But, it makes it tough because, I haven't replenished since the last season.
Yeah.
Now the shoehorns, you can reuse those a few times, but yeah, they're a dime a dozen. They break after a couple times, but
Right.
but the Crisco, I mean, you go through that like like butter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why we started getting the butter flavored Crisco.
Right.
Figured if we're gonna
So it was a lot.
If we're gonna go through it like butter, it might as well be butter flavored.
Might as well be butter flavored.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter. All right. Anyway, so hopefully we should be getting some good audio. It beats the heck out of what we used to do. We have a what's called a boom mic. It's just a
boom!
boom. Just a large microphone that we usually would have to pass back and forth between the usually the 2 people in the front seat. A lot of our trips we only have 2 people. I will tell you this about the third season. In many episodes, we have 3 people, and it's kind of cool.
And in one we had
4, but that's all we're gonna say about
You
that.
had 4 in 1?
That's all I have to say about that.
It's a 4-for-1 deal.
Oh.
Actually, we have a website. It's online right now, and you can actually get a sneak preview of some of the trips contained within our third season, and see where we're going before the show airs. Website for that on your screen right now. That's nowherevideo.tripod.com. You can go to the Nowhere Video site. There's all kinds of cool information on all the different shows we've done over the years. You get behind the scenes info on road trips, visions from beyond, and more. You can see program descriptions of just about every show we've ever done, and extensive information on a handful of our favorites, including road trips, since this is the single most successful run of shows we've ever put out. People really like the show, and it makes it worthwhile to do. It's pretty cool. So check out the website. It's constantly being updated. I try to update it at least once a week, and a lot of cool pictures. There's pictures actually taken right from the shows, and cool upgrade. I'm real happy with it so far. But anyway, we're continuing on. We are still heading north on I-5.
Because if we were heading any other direction, we'd be lost.
We'd be lost, and we just wouldn't get there.
I mean,
So,
we wanted to.
I wanted to, but I just couldn't find the right exit. I just can't get left. Look, his Big Band Parliament. Sorry. Okay, we are 13 miles away from Tacoma. Okay, guys, keep an eye out for the sign to go to 16, because damn sure I'll drive right past it.
Heck, you probably already have.
Okay, I'm going to get here in this somewhat middle lane, because I'm not sure where we're going to be exiting here.
Exeter.
Point Defiance. Follow
Yellow
16 west.
brick road
Follow
16
the yellow
west.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Shut up.
You know that one of the midgets that was in that movie lives in Washington?
Really? I thought the last one died like not too long ago.
No. Shelton, actually.
Huh.
Wait a second. Well, they start changing lanes on you. It says next exit for 16, and then it splits again.
Speaking of changing lanes, anybody seen that movie yet?
This is where you want to be during rush hour.
Really?
Get off right there, and then go to where it says Seattle North, and get right back on the freeway. You bypass all of this stuff.
Whoa, hey now.
I didn't vote for that. Hey, you think they'd put up signs? No. When they close roads, they put up big signs, like this one. Oh, we better not have to stop.
No shoulder.
What? It's still there.
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
Caution, slow-moving vehicles.
Everything's moving in
Great.
Union Avenue. I didn't think we were in Portland.
Yeah.
You gotta go slow to read all these damn signs.
Yeah. Be-ump. Yeah, what says be-ump?
Listen, be-ump.
Whee! Next right.
Freaking
Okay.
losers.
Let's go to the map, show you where we're at. We're here in Tacoma. We're exiting onto Tacoma. We're exiting onto, this is going to be a 6. Is this a highway or?
McDowell's.
Highway?
highways, a byway.
Right.
Looks
Okay.
like you're gonna want to take a left.
Take a Louis. Hang a Louis.
Tacoma
Louis.
Boys, fresh cutlery,
Celery.
cauliflower, lettuce,
Fresh
Hey,
cutlery.
avocado's 2 for a buck.
Haas. They have Haas here.
Man, avocado's 2 for a buck. That's a good price. Guys, we might be going the wrong way.
No,
you
it's
say
up
that?
this way.
Huh?
We keep on going.
Either that or we're a ways away.
You go here.
Because this
Well, we're on-
says 5400 North Pearl.
Right.
And back there it said 5800, and then the next one, the one just now said 5900. So
What, did we miss the sign?
I don't think so.
I mean, this place
Well, that's
is like huge.
Bainbridge Island right there, so we're getting close.
Yeah.
We'll
I-
just
I
follow the
don't
water.
think- Yeah,
See, that's it.
Follow the waterfront.
So what the hell?
Well, what is the
Let's go up to
address?
5900 and then go back down or something. I don't know.
We're probably on North Pearl.
Well,
Point
Point
Defiance.
Defiance.
Yeah.
To an aquarium.
Aquarium.
Left.
Left,
Just
right here.
Get left. Yeah.
Left, right here.
Not so much here or Yep. That's what it said. What the sign
Left turn on
said.
green. Left turn on green.
Green, 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 green.
What does the arrow mean?
Yeah.
Turn here.
It means turn here. Right here.
Point Defiance Village.
Turn here.
Echo in here.
Turn here. Not so much here or here.
Not so much here.
But here.
That whole turn here thing is so old I can't even remember where it came from. Turn here.
Dude, you got a big mound of dirt in your driveway.
Well, I wonder if they know.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know you got a bunch of dirt in your driveway?
No kidding. Okay, we need to go to the administration building. Actually, so
Right.
far we're only able to go one way here.
Zoo.
You can't get there from here.
Okay.
Yeah, then you take a ride at the retarded kid selling fireworks. Oh, zoo?
Zoo parking.
Well, folks, I think we're going to figure out where we're supposed to go, because I know we need to go to the administration building, but we got to find it first. So we're going to wrap this up here for a few minutes and
Yeah, go take a ride at the retarded kid selling
selling fireworks. Yeah. So we're going to shut down here for a few, and we'll be right back. Okay, and this is the Discovery Reef Nature Center. Okay. So now this is what we're going to be looking at inside the. Okay.
You'll enter through tropical vegetation, and we'll come to our tropical, the beach zone with the tropical fish, and then we'll move through there to the what we call the blue hole and,
The blue hole.
and
Okay.
the shark exhibit.
All right.
So,
Excellent.
Let's do it.
this is the Robinson Crusoe kind of
Oh
look.
yeah.
This is like a break room or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of to set the stage.
Complete with a typewriter.
Yep. Wait until. Okay, they're here. Let's go. Okay, let's go. And then Kendall, mine said we.
So who are you here to see today?
And then if you're
I'm liking this already.
Oh yeah. This is cool.
Oh wow, so you got a controlled environment in here.
We have to. These are tropicals, and they need.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you have like humidity controls to
And
make
plus,
it.
we do a lot of watering in here. That
Well,
helps
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's
So
very.
you-
They work
so-
very hard to control both the air and the water
Yeah.
temperature. Hey, this is Dr. Holly Reed, our zoo vet. How are you? And this is the beach area.
Oh wow. Yeah. Fish too. Yeah.
What kind of tree is this?
We have all sorts of fish here, from the spotted eel that you saw earlier to the tiniest little bluefish to tangs and
What are these good sized ones right here? The yellow around them.
well, the smaller bright yellow are tangs. This one I'll have to look up for you.
Okay. Beautiful fish. Can you get it?
Let's see, the ones with the black and yellow and spots are triggerfish.
Well, there's some kind of. Whoa.
Yeah, that's the eel.
Looks like a leopard type of eel. It's got leopard type spots.
I've never seen a critter like that before. Blends in too.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you.
Looks
No, that-
like it has a beak on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He's actually like about 1.5 feet away from the glass.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
okay. Okay, yeah, because this glass is like what?
Now look at-
5-6 inches.
These, look at those. Those are cool. Now look at that one back there. I don't know if you'll be able to see him very well, but it's one good-sized fish.
Now, there's some little guys in there too. There's these blue. What are they? Blue fish. They're almost a neon.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's a better picture of the eel over here. Oh yeah. Wow. Almost looks like the skin on this brownish one almost looks like it's feathers almost. Wow. Yeah.
Which one is this?
Now that one's cool. I like this one.
That bluefish is really neat.
That is cool.
It's got little teeth.
This one here looks like it's been patched together.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the different colors.
And the eel is a snowflake moray. There in the back, yeah. Here comes Winky, the grouper, the big blue and green one there.
I didn't see him before. Way in the back there. Well, that guy's huge.
Yeah, that's the one I was pointing out to you.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Now, what kind of fish is that? That Winky or whatever his name is?
He's a grouper,
A grouper.
yes.
Wow.
Watch your head, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, it might be easier to pick up ramp on this side.
Now we got close and personal.
Yes.
This is the largest shark collection north of San Francisco on the West Coast. And our curator of aquatic mammals and fish is a pretty well-known expert in sharks around the country. And so he's been here for 20 years and really worked to develop this collection. His name is John Rupp. The silvery kind of bullheaded fish you see up there are known as locally as bonito or bonita, and they're in the dolphin, not as in porpoise, but dolphin fish family.
If this wasn't, if that wasn't close enough, all the sharks would be. Oh, look at that!
No, it's they're dolphin that are porpoise that are mammals, and then there's a fish species known as dolphin too, a family of fish.
Several rows of teeth.
One fun thing we have here at the zoo is a thing called a sea snooze, and we have overnight programs set up from time to time where kids can go on sea scavenger hunts. They can we have sea snacks. It's both educational and entertaining, and then at night they get to sleep with the sharks, and they set up right here in front of the shark tank with their sleeping bags, and have an overnight.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely is.
Now, how big is your tank in here? How far out does it go?
Oh, I think it's about 40 feet.
Oh, wow. So it almost looked like he had a chunk taken out of his
Yeah,
fin,
I was
but it was
thinking
the
that
dark
also.
background, but it's,
Tip.
yeah, wow. Holy smokes.
But we've had
Man,
a black tip with a chunk out of them from time to time.
wow.
Not very often, but I mean, they have a very carefully regulated diet.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to resort to that. Now, I will warn you that Hoover has a little bit of a BO problem, but hi, Karen.
Well, Hoover's decided to take a nap in the sun today. Some days he's very energetic and wants to walk all around the zoo, but today it looks like his snooze time. Hoover's been here about a year now, and he's part of our school outreach program. He goes out and visits schools to contribute to our conservation education program here at the zoo. We do a lot of rainforest education, and he's a big part of that since he's such a great representative of that really incredible habitat. And Hoover is called a tamandua, which most people have never heard of before. He's actually a type of arboreal anteater or tree climbing anteater. Most people picture anteaters being much larger, and the one that is familiar to most people is. It's called a giant anteater. It's really large, about the size of a collie. But this guy's full grown, and he is almost 2 years old now and being very lethargic in the sun. Let's see if I can wake him up for you guys a little bit with his treat. Besides eating ants and termites, they do also like to eat honey and very ripe fruit. So that's what I have in this bowl is some banana that's all mushed up with honey, which he loves. It has to be really, you can hear him slurping it, huh? It has to be really slurpable because they have no teeth at all. In fact, he can only open his mouth the size of a pencil diameter. So everything has to just kind of slurp on down there. Look at, he's not even opening his eyes for his treat. He's being pretty lazy today. But he does love that. Let's see if I can get him to stand up a little bit better. Hoover, do you want to stand up? Good boy. You gonna wake up for me? There's his tongue sticking out just a little bit. His tongue is 1.5 feet long. Pretty amazing. We don't see it very often. Yeah, there's a little bit of it sticking out. They use it to go way down in the cracks and crevices of an anthill, of course, so they can get all those bugs. Sometimes this will encourage him to stand up and you get a good look at his whole body.
He's got massive legs.
Aren't those feet incredible? To me, he seems like a football linebacker or something with those really powerful front legs. And those are how he accesses the termite mounds and the ant nests. This is pure muscle, it's not fur, it's really, really thick. So he uses these enormous claws to just rip open the termite mound. And also, of course, the claws really help him for climbing through the trees, but definitely the way he gets into his meals. And that's one of the challenges of handling this guy, is those claws are really formidable. And if we carry him around a bit, and sometimes just, out of his own feeling of security, he wants to hold on, and boy, they can really dig in. So we have to be super careful with him. In fact, those claws are so large that they don't walk on the bottoms of their feet like a normal animal does. He has to keep his claws curled up and walk on the sides of his feet. And so as a result, he's got kind of thick pads there built up, covered with grass right now, but really kind of see that big bulbous part of his foot. Good boy, Hoover.
He's got the little tripod thing going on.
Yes, with his tail. His tail actually is pretty unusual as well because he's a tree climber. That tail's really helpful in holding on to branches. It is fully prehensile, which means he can even hang upside down with it if he needs to, but more often he just uses it as kind of a safety rope to anchor him in the trees. Very, very powerful. And you're probably noticing his wonderful scent. Cute as he is, wonderful as he is, he does have a drawback, and that is that he does have a strong scent, some days stronger than others. You guys are being polite and not commenting on it too badly. Not right now.
The wind's kind of taking it.
The problem is when I go home after handling him, I carry that scent with me for the rest of the night, and unfortunately it smells exactly like a skunk smell. So I get a lot of weird looks in the grocery store at night. We offer a lot of different educational programs here at the zoo. A lot are on-site, but we also have some off-site programming. And one of our most popular is our Zoom program, where we bring animals out to the schools and visit all different ages. We actually do programs for adults all the way down to young children. And we do assemblies, usually large groups, with a whole wide variety of those program animals I was mentioning earlier, our birds of prey, our bats, our wonderful tamandua, and some reptiles as well, different things. And we've got actually a lot of different programs we offer on different topics, but all of them really strongly stress best conservation. It's really our strong feeling that by getting kids and all adults as well excited about nature, they'll hopefully learn to be good stewards of nature and protect our incredible wild world. So that's really our goal in bringing our animals out, is just to give people a really sense of appreciation for our wonderful animals and hopefully teach them about them as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Right on. So, yeah, he's back,
Look
he's
at
back
him.
in sleep mode.
He's not too impressed by his big moment on camera, is he?
Yeah.
That's funny. If you'd like, you can pet him right on his back. Just want to avoid the front claws. The rest of him is quite harmless since he has no teeth. He's one of the few animals that I can actually say cannot bite you,
Yeah.
which you can't say that about anything else.
He can't open his mouth.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems very, very docile.
He's a really good boy, although, as I mentioned before, you're seeing him in a very lazy time right now. There are times I would take him for walks all around the zoo, and he literally gallops around the zoo at the end of his leash. It's all I can do to keep up with him. So today, for some reason, we caught him in a quiet mood.
Quite a sight.
Actually, a lot softer than he looks.
Yeah.
Starting from right here at the elephant's enclosure, all the way down to the fence line at the base, all the way from the reindeer building and just slightly beyond it, and all the way to the restroom area behind you, and a portion of that hillside, all gets removed this spring, and they'll make it into a new Asian sanctuary exhibit. Wow. It's going to be an exciting exhibit with several new species to this area, to this zoo actually, and I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a rotating exhibit, one where we can locate the animals in different environments by method of the caging that's underground. So all the animals will be transferred underground, and all of a sudden they'll come right up into the exhibit areas, and the people will be able to see them in different areas. And what that does, it does several things. It creates an interesting environment for the animals, in which when they come in there, they can smell the other animals, and they're kind of excited about that, something that they hadn't done in the past. And secondly, it gives the visitor a feeling of seeing different exhibits all of a sudden. Because one day you might see the tiger over here, but the next day you might see it over here.
Yeah.
And it changes like that.
Like a revolving setting.
Yeah, so it kind of gets, it's exciting really. And it can actually happen in the same day. The tiger might be over here and they come back around 2 hours later and like, well, it used to be here, what happened to it? Oh, now it's over here. And so
they
it,
have like a working of tunnels.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. It'll be a real exciting one to show later on, because we can come in from underneath and actually come up through the exhibit areas and stuff. I saw this on the plans, and I didn't think it was as big as it is.
Yeah.
And when they start putting them together, it's like, wow, that's a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. At the corner right here, the new administrative area for the animal health care facility starts here. This was an existing portion of the building that we didn't want to destroy because it was still functional, and we're going to use it for storage of grains and materials for the animals that we are storing currently up at a barn up on top of the hill. This large picture window and that large picture window on the side open up into the administrative area of the healthcare facility, and interestingly enough, it wasn't planned that way, but this is actually going to look right out onto the Asia project, and in particular the water area where we're going to probably maintain the tigers at most of the time. So they're going to have a fantastic view out there. That when they realized how this was designed and how it plays into their picture, they were all really excited about it. This building and the existing building will probably only be about 20 feet apart. I've got to tell you, at the stage we're at, it's not a very pretty building on the inside. It's a really a pretty building from the outside, and I'll take it to the one point that shows something that's of what I consider to be of major interest.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, the main hallway down through the building goes directly back into the animal caging area where the animals will be maintained when they're being treated. On the right-hand side, the first door on the right is the radiology area where we'll be doing all the x-rays on the animals when required. We have a surgical suite on the left-hand side. And the interesting part about the surgical suite, in my opinion, is we designed it so that visitors can actually watch the surgery from the outside by looking in through the windows. The taller windows are for adults, the smaller windows are for children. So they have that opportunity to observe as we do the procedures. I think that's kind of exciting that people will be able to do that. And the vet whose idea this was, I think that's pretty neat that she's willing to have people actually observe her right in the middle of her work. because it can be a stressful situation when you're doing surgery, and she's not nervous about it at all. So I think that's pretty exciting. One of the neat things about this facility is our green roof, and it's actually a living roof. On top of this, what we see right here will be dirt. The building will be 6 to 8 inches of dirt planted with grasses. It has a sloping roof that allows all the soil, all the water to drain through the soil into an area that's flat and is maintained with stone and glass. There'll be a 2-inch layer of very bright, I think blue glass, in which the water will run through and then meet into a cistern. Cistern's on the far end of the building. It'll collect the rainwater, and then we use that for our sprinkler system. So we get to reuse everything. We're building it with virtually 80 to 90% recycled materials. And everything that came out of this, 98% of what came out of this site went to recycling. That was another critical aspect of the design, is making sure that what we did met one of our goals here at the zoo, and that is to be an ecologically sound facility, one that really helps our community and helps the nation as a whole in regards to that. The roof itself has got 6 inches, as you can see, of foam insulation underneath the orange vinyl material, which is another 1/8 inch that is welded at the seams. In addition to that, they take a stainless steel bar along the entire inside edge, screw it in with the material, and then weld it again so it can't peel away. And what we have scheduled for this Friday or Monday, I forget the exact date, we're determining, a company coming in from Florida is going to run in and do a test on the roof. Underneath that roof is a membrane, a metal membrane that we can hook to. If we have a leak anywhere in the building, we run in, we put a meter on that thing, it'll tell us within 12 inches where on that roof we're leaking. Oh, wow. So we don't have to dig up the dirt all over the entire building to find the leak. We can go right to within 12 inches of that location to find the leak. I will say, however, that the company that's doing this, Sarnafil, out of Spokane, has said that they will virtually guarantee that there'll be no leak within 10 years. They've given us a written 10-year warranty on the roof, and I'd like to go even one step farther in saying that they actually donated the roof. Oh, wow. It's a $30,000 roof that they donated to the zoo. So not only did they give us a $30,000 gift as a donation, but then they turned around and said, we'll warranty it and guarantee it for 10 years on top of that. That's a pretty nice gift, I have to admit. Now we're scheduled to do a leak test on this, like I said, this Friday or Monday. Once that's done, we'll actually bring a unit in here, and they'll pick up the soil and just keep putting the soil on top of it, leveling it out, and then we'll actually plant it with grasses. So it'll be, about spring of next year, you can come back and look at it and say, well, let's see what is actually growing there.
We need to play a little bit of miniature golf.
Yeah, I'm just hoping I don't have to mow it later or anything.
That could be a problem.
So, what they say, you can walk on it, you can do anything you want to it, you won't hurt it. And honestly, as it is right there, you can see we run equipment over it, the people walk on it, and you're right.
We got penguins here.
Right, this is Penguin Point, and we have 10 Magellanic penguins here. 10 adults and 3 chicks. You may have heard about the penguin chick who escaped from the exhibit earlier this summer. We believe it made its way out into Puget Sound, where it's probably we hope it's happily out there swimming after herring and other food fish. We recently returned the other chicks to the exhibit, and for the first few days we had a 24-hour watch and then a couple more nights of all-night watches to make sure that these guys were going to be secure. We've also done, you can see the fencing fortifications that we've done as well. Part of it is these babies are, in the wild, they would have been separated from their parents at about 6 weeks of age, which we tried to emulate here at the zoo by separating them. And they are genetically hardwired when that happens to go to the open water and find food. And so...
no way around that.
No way around that. Well...
No, I didn't know penguins could live in this. I thought it had to be cold.
Actually, there are a number of varieties. This particular variety, the Magellanics, are native to the southern coasts of South America from northern Argentina down around Cape Horn and then on up the coast of Chile. There are actually some penguins, not this variety, who live on the equator. So there's lots of different.
Yeah, I
experts.
didn't know that there were varieties of penguins that could live in a warmer climate than.
This area stays shaded a good bit of the day, and we do keep cool water circulating in here, so it never becomes, hot.
Too warm.
Right.
How many penguins do you have in here?
We have 10 in all, 10 adults and 3 chicks.
Oh, you got all kinds of winding walking trails there.
That's where we're heading.
That's where we're going.
We're trying to make it's a pretty steep hill, so we're trying to make it as gentle as we can.
Yeah.
Gradual slope as possible.
For us out of shape folks.
Speak for yourself, pal.
I'm in great shape. I'm in great shape, really.
Well, I just don't even pretend. But I do truck this hill quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
These are drawings that school children in Puyallup did.
Oh.
Tufted puffin.
Well, they're in the Sumner, I guess, school district.
Neat.
And there are a number of these, and they represent the animals who live in the Rocky Shores exhibit area. This is a tufted puffin. Aren't they cute?
That's pretty good.
Looks like a walrus.
Pretty impressive.
So the kids get to come down here and show their friends what they drew.
I drew that.
So how long are those anticipated to stay in position?
They'll be here for a while, yeah. This exhibit area is the only area that's not going to be affected by construction at the zoo. So
This is the only area?
Yeah.
The Rocky Shores?
The Rocky Shores is the newest exhibit area at the zoo.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be why.
It's 20 years old. So,
wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're long overdue.
Wow. Yeah.
We really are.
20 years, yeah. Well, you'll sure have some great new exhibits and things opening up here when you're done.
There he is again. Hi, boy. Hi, boy. Hey. Oh, boy. Those eyes. How you doing, boy? There's Whisper. This is where the red is right here. Oh, yeah. He's eating his teeth. Hang on his pucker.
This isn't E2. That is E2.
Well, the third is to assist in their own medical care, especially with animals like this. Some of the things we're able to do with them is he will haul himself up on the beach, and he'll very quietly present a flipper so the vet can draw a blood sample. The whales will present a flute. So that
Yeah, they do. They look like they want to say hi. I wish we could go. Hi, Mr. Whale. So we're on the other side of the
Yeah.
we're on the other side of the lake, so this must be going to be different. Yeah, he's like going over.
Feed me.
It's over here, guys. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Are you getting that? That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there. Say that. I'm happy to see you guys.
They're very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
What's happening? Keeping an eye on it. There's no. Oh, okay.
Hey folks, if you're within the sound of my voice, we want to invite you down to our beluga habitat. We're doing a little training session with our 2 young male belugas. So anybody that's around the Rocky Shores, if you can hear us, come on down. If you're wondering who these gentlemen are to my left, they do a cable access travel show. They're from Oregon, and they're going to be documenting a little bit about our wonderful zoo here at Point Defiance. Man, right in front of you, I can't see that. Can you identify what that is in the water?
I need to have to take responsibility for it. My son threw an apple in there.
It's part of an apple. Okay. Well, we'll try to retrieve on that. We'll definitely get things going. No, that's okay. We do definitely want to be careful with anything here at the zoo. Because these animals don't chew their food, they swallow their food whole. I don't think an apple would be the death of them, but you can imagine if a child's toy, a pair of sunglasses, even a cell phone, they're the exact same size, could actually do them some damage. It's kind of sad that in the wild, so much trash actually ends up, oh, come on over here, baby. So much trash actually ends up killing animals in the wild. You'd hope that here at the zoo, be a little bit more controlled. Got a seal swimming right by it. But because Margaret and I can't throw very well, we're not actually getting ice cubes near the apple. These guys have been trained to retrieve all sorts of objects, mainly safe toys. These are things that the animals can play with, rub against, look at, listen to, do whatever they want. But the main reason that we train them to retrieve them is because all of our training is based on reward. So hopefully we're making it more fun for them to bring an object back to us than it would be to actually swallow the object. He's got to get it in his mouth. He's working on it. He's thinking about it. There he goes.
I'd rather just push it over to you, thank you, anyway.
Oh, he just dropped it. That's a weird looking little thing. So anyway, we're working here today with our 2 young adult male belugas. The whale in front of me is 10, the one with the apple in his mouth, which I never thought I'd say. I'd say a whale with an apple in his mouth is our 9-year-old. Why don't we give a little bit better look at our whales here, Margaret?
All right.
I'll give you a chance to see them a little bit out of the water. I say a little bit because belugas aren't known for their leaping or jumping abilities. That right there is about as high as they go. We'll give you another example of that. What are you going to be showing off, Margaret?
This is just going to be a forward leap or a bow.
Now, the reason that belugas can't do those amazing acrobatics that you might associate with other species of dolphins and whales is because they're lacking one very important thing. And you might be seeing it right now. It's speed. They can't go very fast. Belugas are not a fast-moving animal, and it turns out that that's the key. You need an amazing amount of speed to propel your body up and into the air. And these guys just don't have it. But you know what? They don't need it, because where they live in the wild, they spend most of their time traveling next to and underneath the Arctic pack ice. And in that circumstance, speed isn't as important as maneuverability.
And they do have maneuverability.
Yeah, we should show some of that off, huh?
And fact, beluga whales are one of the few whales that is capable of even backing up.
I love watching them spin like that. It's kind of jazzy, doesn't it? Don't you wish we could take credit for training that behavior?
Oh, can't we?
Well, we really can't because it's a natural behavior, meaning we didn't teach them how to move that way in the water. That's something that's been observed by belugas in the wild. We certainly thought it was cool, so we rewarded it, put it on a signal or a cue so we could show it off to you. Not only did they use that blowhole on the top of their head to breathe, and we'll give you a chance to hear what that sounds like. You guys ever heard that saying, "There she blows"? They're referring to the air coming out of the blowhole. We always draw it like a spout of water, which makes no sense at all, because it's air coming out of their blowhole. But whales and dolphins get so good at knowing where the surface of the water is that quite often they exhale before they get to the surface, and it can be explosive. And they can blast any water above their blowhole, any seawater, up and into the air so it looks like a big blow. But not only can they use that blowhole for breathing, they can use it for something else. And that's for vocalizing. That's a really cool term. They can't really talk. They don't have any vocal cords. All the sounds that you're hearing are coming from the blowhole on top of their head. They actually make a couple other cool sounds. Now, interestingly enough, the majority of the sounds that beluga whales make, we can't even hear. It's out of the range of our hearing, which brings up something else, and that is what a beluga whale can hear. Because we sure can't hear or make the sounds, but of course the other beluga whales can, and that's because they can hear things that you and I can't.
This is our farm area where children and anybody can buy a handful of feed and for $1 and have a close encounter with a goat. We have several varieties of goats, from little pygmies all the way up to very large goats. And we'll meet some of these guys. These are the mid-size. Yes.
God, they can smell it 5 miles away.
Yeah.
Watch.
They're very friendly.
It's their num-num-nums, not your num-num-nums. Watch them. It's really funny. Are they bite? Oh, well, that's hazardous. But they're both
Very tame.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting how their pupils work.
Yeah.
They're sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a little Jeep.
Yes.
Around on the other side of this little barn, there's even smaller ones that are just adorable.
Somebody's getting tough
Oh,
over
they're
there.
going to do some headbutting over there, it looks
King in the
like.
mountains, see?
Oh.
The
Like there was this one.
GE World Wrestling Coach Entertainment.
I don't think there were this many when we came through here a minute ago. Alright, we got effluents. We got 3 of them?
Sorry. They're about to go in the barn, and there is a glass viewing area. It takes them a while, but...
Oh, okay.
Ooh, what does that smell
Oh, you're smelling it.
What's that?
We do replace the sand a lot.
That's good. That's one big sandbox.
Okay. All right, so Hanako, Suki, and then Cindy to the backside of Suki. Cindy has been at this zoo for many, many years. She came to us as a young elephant. She was brought to Tacoma back in '62, I believe, by a businessman. She was captured in the wild in Thailand and brought over here as a 1-year-old.
Wow.
And she was used to help open supermarkets and, you know, kind of create an event, you know, for that kind of thing.
Wow.
And she's, you know, was starting to grow and getting to be a little bit too much for the guy to handle. So school children in Tacoma donated their little milk money to help bring Cindy to the zoo. So she is very much our, you know, much beloved. elephant here.
Yeah.
And the other two elephants, all of them have issues. And we have employed here, as you heard with our Rocky Shore staff, all of our animal dealings are reward-based. And in the elephant world, there are two methods of management. One is called free contact, where the elephant keepers are right in there with the elephants. The other is called protected contact, in which there's always a barrier between people and elephants. And all of these girls have issues. And our zoo, along with the San Diego Zoo, pioneered the protected contact system. And we went to it more than a decade ago.
What does that entail?
That entails completely reward-based. These elephants are never hit, as can happen. I'm not saying that elephant keepers out there beat their elephants savagely or anything, but you use food as a reward.
By issues, you mean at some point in their life they were mishandled, or?
Yes, Suki, I believe, has a circus background, and I think she has killed someone in the past. Cindy has injured, but I don't think she's killed. And Hanako has some other issues as well.
It's kind of dancing for us.
Yeah, I'll do it. Now Suki, the big one, going in first, they have a pecking order too among the elephants, and Suki's the dominant one. And Cindy, I was telling you about earlier, is very timid around other animals. She's not timid around people. She can be darn aggressive when she gets her mood to it. But so they have to go in a certain order or it doesn't work.
I see.
Yeah, there may be some debate about that, but they know it's sort of the end of the day for them, and they're pretty much ready to.
Yeah, they're just as happy to go back in anyway.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
Three elephants is the total that you have here?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And we only have females. We're not really equipped for male elephants. We would have to have a
much more reinforcement.
Yeah, because the bulls can just
walk through any.
If you look at those bars in that caging there, do you see a little bit of open area that's vertical, thin and vertical there?
Yes.
Our elephants are to the point where we can get them to put an ear through that open area so that the vet can draw a blood sample without having to step into the cage with them. They'll also present a foot for us. Elephant foot grooming is a really important part of their care because, so you can imagine all that weight on those feet takes its toll. And you're talking about 8,000-9,000 pound animals.
Is this what they typically eat?
That's a lot of their food, yes.
Looks like some squash and.
One interesting thing I can tell you is that Cindy, our superstar, has been developing some issues with arthritis that have kind of slowed her down a little bit. We celebrated her 40th birthday this summer. Wow. And elephants can live on into their 60s. Wow. So she's not elderly yet, but she's certainly older middle age for elephants. So we've been working on pain management for Cindy, and we are giving her a medication now, and we've been experimenting with different ways to get her to accept it because these are oral medications. We first tried fruit. We would core an apple and put 10 aspirin in it and put the cap, the core back in. She bought it for a day or two. We do the same thing with bananas and that sort of thing. And pretty soon she figured it out and started spitting out the fruit or just refusing it altogether. So now we've come up with a formula where we're using a mortar and pestle and grinding up the pills, and we're mixing it with vanilla Coke. And Cindy loves vanilla Coke.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
So we alternated with root beer and some other brown carbonated beverages, the darker caramel-based ones.
Huh. There's Cindy and Suki.
Panico down there at the.
And here's Sutton. Here's the elephant drinking fountain.
Check that out.
I imagine that they can lift that thing with their trunk whenever they need
Yeah.
to, get a drink.
Yeah, I imagine so. No, I thought she said they had their own separate rooms. It looks like Cindy and Suki are in the same part.
Yeah, it does.
Japanese thing.
I think that's Indian.
That's all Japanese.
Indian music for listening.
It sounds like Indian flute. These are spotted ratfish, which are a shark relative. We're looking at in here. And they're a fairly recent addition to our collection. We have our jellies. Probably the one down here is going to be better lit for the camera.
These guys are weird.
This curved glass is just going to mesmerize.
Yeah.
Here too.
Beautiful creature.
Our jelly population, these are like a one season, 1 year lifespans. We have to go out every year. And this is about the time I guess we would be
Looking for new
getting more
ones.
specimens, right? So we have to rebuild our jelly population every year.
No, I've been deep sea fishing before out of Westport, and we went across a patch of, it's part of a jelly family, but they're very small. They're like silver dollar sized, maybe a little bit bigger, about that big around, and they're just bright blue. But they don't really have any tentacles, and they don't move a lot. They're just a small, kind of like pretty inanimate.
Right.
Oh, the baby's cute. Wow.
You see the babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really big little umbrellas, don't they?
Umbrella for your fridge.
Looks like you've got some red snapper and some silver salmon and some sea bass.
You know your fish, don't you?
Dogfish. Well, we call them dogfish, the little sharks.
Uh-huh. Well, we call them dogfish too.
Oh, do you?
Cool.
Hello.
Ooh, hello.
Hello.
Whoa, that's a cool looking fish.
No, these are halibut, right? The ones that swim on their side. This one right over here.
I don't think that's a halibut.
No.
It's more like a flounder type.
Flounder. That's right.
Halibut are really big.
Yeah. They kind of have that same shape though. They're very, very broad, skinny.
Hey you. You wanna hang out and talk to me? How you doing? How are you? Everything going okay? They treating you all right in here? Unlike most aquariums, we don't have to make our own salt water. We're able to draw it right from the sound. And that is one of the reasons we have such clarity to the water in our exhibits. It's a really nice feature. So we have a water filtration system that will, feeds the aquariums, but it also feeds the aquatic mammals that we met down at Rocky Shores, the walrus and whales, otters, and that bunch.
I imagine the animals have a lot better luck in natural salt water though too, seawater.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard chemistry to keep balanced. So it's if Mother Nature will do it for you and you have access to it, it's great.
Now, did you catch these fish, Todd? The ones that swim on their side? Both of their eyes are on the top side of their
Yeah, I
body.
noticed that.
Flounders. I don't know the individual history of these fish. I know that we do have to go out from time to time and do some captures, but I suspect that some of them, are born here.
Oh, some put them in a big fire pit and buried.
They're all saying about the same thing.
Yeah, they all pretty much say the same stuff. Bloop. Yeah, they all pretty much say bloop. Bloop.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about these is these fish you can pretty much just go out and get. But I imagine that it could be a problem getting some of those tropical fish.
Yeah. And it's a very fragile climate that we have to maintain over there, and there's a lot of science that goes into aquaculture. Another one of the world's very endangered species is coral.
Is that because of all of the dredging and pollution? That one has kind of like anglers on it.
Over there, it kind of looks like that fiber optic stuff you see, those like fiber optic trees.
Yeah.
Looking at coral is kind of a nice contradiction to a really busy, bad day, you know?
Yeah.
It really enables you to kind of slow down and just be transfixed and fascinated.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great stress buster.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I would never have expected, to be so flexible, because I am pictured coil as, something hard or sharp or,
Mm-hmm.
So I have a cup for each of us, and somebody can have two if you want.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Okay.
Can you handle one, Todd? You guys ready?
I really shouldn't.
Okay.
Okay, we ready?
Well, we'll have these ready for you too when those get used. Thanks,
Oh boy.
Well, this is so cool.
Oh my goodness.
This is so neat.
Mom.
You notice their little tongues?
Hello. This is so neat.
Unfortunately, when these birds leave, they're going to be relocated to other bird zoos because the area that we're standing in right now is destined to become the clouded leopard part of the Asia exhibit. So we're hoping that when we get the children's zone done in a few years, we can bring more back.
These are called lorikeets?
Lorikeets. They're Australian parrots.
Beautiful bird.
God.
Jason, you're so popular.
I'm getting them. Hey now.
So smart.
This one flew
Hey now,
Look at this red one.
yeah. Guys, come on. It's okay.
I know. Let's play nice. Huh?
Oh, this one's beautiful. Look at him. Oh, it's gorgeous. Hey guys, the finger is not food. Holy smokes. Just call me the bird man. Alright guys. Oh, now, come on. Enough for everyone.
You got one right above you, Todd.
I'll warn you, they may do something else too.
Yeah, well, probably.
I need more refills.
Well, hey there. Hello.
You can roll your arms slightly outward toward face them, and they'll get off.
Okay, I see.
They are not shy at all. There, Todd.
Yeah. So.
You can tell.
Yeah.
It's a very
They didn't waste any time coming in here.
Hey guys, you liking this?
Hey, now you guys behave. Walking on each other.
You see that one? That's best to hold him out here if you can. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're almost piggly wiggly there. Okay, I moved the pig.
That's so cool. I see they're all tagged.
Hey, yo.
Okay, Birdie.
Come up. All right.
Up here. Ah, bird on the head.
Walk over here.
Oh, look at this one. Do you think they're having a little discussion there?
I think they're wanting to fight.
Okay, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Nowhere Videos Road Trips. We want to thank Carolyn Cox extensively for the fantastic tour that she gave us.
Yes.
I don't think any of us expected to get that kind of service. That was definitely above and beyond the call of duty there.
Yes, yes it was.
And again, I think I've been saying all day after we started the tour, definitely pays to plan ahead.
Oh, definitely.
Make phone calls and make arrangements for this stuff, because it's there's nothing quite like it.
Definitely. It's always expensive to pay for last minute extras.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. You got that right.
So we're ending this show here in front of the Camp 6 Logging Museum, which is actually on the same grounds as the zoo. This is actually all part of the Point Defiance Park, out here in the middle of
700 acres. I
about
believe.
700 acres. It's huge. So this is
just past Camp Nisqually.
Yeah,
up the
Fort
road, or
Nisqually.
Nisqually.
Yeah. That looks like something interesting to see. That's kind of telling Mark I didn't know they moved Fort Vancouver.
Yeah. And renamed it.
And renamed it, you know. Go figure.
Yeah. Would have thunk it.
Right.
Anyway.
But this has been a great opening episode. Really been happy with the way it turned out.
Lots of fun. Lots of stuff to do here.
Lots of stuff to do.
Oh,
and still there's a lot of stuff that we weren't able to cover. Definitely worth checking out. Bring the family, bring the kids, bring the parents. Yeah, it's good fun for everybody. So again, I want to thank Carolyn Cox for the tour.
And basically everybody.
And everybody
that cooperated there at the zoo.
There was a lot of other people.
A lot of other people.
I wish I could remember all their names, but there were so many of them.
There was a Stan, there was a Tracy.
Right.
Caroline.
Yeah, Carolyn. Yeah.
But there were so many others that contributed really to us being able to get
into these other areas behind the scenes.
I mean, we were behind the scenes, right next to where they were feeding the beluga whales.
Which the public doesn't get to go.
The public is not going to do that.
The construction on the new animal hospital.
Right.
Yep.
Again, another place where the public is not going to be able to go. And we also gave you the, I keep forgetting the name of it. It's the birds.
Oh, the lorikeets.
Lorikeets.
Those were fun.
Yeah, and they're not going to be, by the time this episode airs, they're not going to be around.
Yeah.
So it's cool that we got in and
I
we're able
think
to
they said
tape
they're
that.
only going to be here for about 5 more days, I think. So
Yeah, so we're...
from the time this is aired, or time it's taped. So
we definitely
we got here in the nick of time.
had the advantage there. So that's,
oh man, that was a popular attraction for them birds. Man,
that was
all
a
of us
new
were,
that was a
actually.
new experience.
Yeah, that was a new experience for me.
I don't know if we were looking at the birds or the birds were looking at us.
Probably a little bit of both.
Like, what's going on there?
I think I had about 5 of them on me at one point, at one time.
They're landing on like any open surface,
Oh, yeah.
you know, landing on our heads and stuff.
Yeah, I had one crawling up my arm, and probably 3 or 4, 2 or 3 right here, another 2 or 3 right here.
Again, just too much fun.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. One of the more memorable trips that we've had, I think. But definitely worth checking out. Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium up here in Tacoma, Washington. Definitely worth the drive.
Yes.
So I think with that, that's gonna do it for this first new episode of our 3rd season. Want to thank Jason Click for joining the Road Trips family, and I'm sure you'll be seeing more of him. And Mark, old standby, and of course me. I just never leave. So that's gonna do it.
We're working on that though.
We're working on it. So for Road Trips, I'm Todd Hilton.
I'm Mark Johnson.
I'm Jason Click.
And we want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time for the next edition of Nowhere Videos.
Road Trips!